when you're constantly being bombarded, and then on top of that, you've got the psychological aspect of the gang stalking causing you stress. The perps are trying to look for every opportunity to frighten you or to cause your heart to jolt. It's not even a question of whether they're going to kill me or not. They have murdered me already. They have murdered me already. This has been from childhood. My entire childhood has led up to this moment, and it's going to lead up to my death. There is no way to avoid it. And I wish it wasn't this way. I really do. But it is. And I can't trust my family to, to give me the burial that I want or the cremation that I want, or to put it in the place, because they're just going to do the same thing that they've done my entire fucking life. They're going to run roughshod over me and not listen to me. So I can't talk to my family about my death. They can't even handle their own lives, let alone my death, let alone my gang stalking. So I can't even talk to them about this. And I can't talk to other TIs in a DM sort of fashion, because there are so many of you TIs. For those who are watching anyway, there are so many of you who are going through even worse than what I'm going through. So how can I turn around and tell anybody in real life or virtually that I want to prepare for my death and make arrangements? And not from the perspective of wanting to die, but just like being practical. I'm at that age now, and funeral costs and cremation costs, that shit is expensive. And then there's the question of how are my descendants, or whoever I leave my stuff to, how are they going to be able to inherit my stuff before these cunts in Brighton start stealing shit? So how do I, there's the question of who I'm going to leave my belongings to. There's the question of how I'm going to get my family down here so that they can get my shit, or sell it off, whatever it is they want to do upon my death, right? How do I get all these things arranged? Like, how do I make sure that my death is as smooth as possible? And not even for myself, because I'm going to be dead, so it ain't going to make no difference. But how do I make sure that my death is as smooth as possible for the people left behind, so that they're not drowning in expense, so they're not drowning in paperwork and shit? How do I make sure that my social media stays up, so that the world knows that I was murdered and that my death was not as a result of just my own bad lifestyle, even though my own bad lifestyle contributed to it? How do I let people know that I'm tortured to death? Who do I leave my social media to? Who do I trust my social media to? So that the true nature of my murder by my own government and by multiple communities that I have been within were responsible for my death. How do I make sure that that isn't covered up? There's so many questions to consider. Just dying, just dying is like, people don't think about it enough. People don't think about the deaths enough. I don't feel like you failed at life if you don't get a fancy job, or you do. I feel like you failed at life if you don't prepare for your death. That's where I feel like you failed. And I haven't prepared for mine. That's where the real failure is. Imagine how much freer I could have been if I'd have just thought about these things earlier when I was younger. There's so many suicidal ideations when I was younger. I should have at least prepared for what might happen if I succeeded. Like, for the record, I'm not suicidal. I promised a loved one that had passed on, I promised them that I would no longer try to harm myself in that way because it would be an insult to their memory. So for anybody who's worried about me having suicidal ideations now, don't worry about it. That's not happening because I made a promise. I made a promise that when that person died, that their death wouldn't be in vain. I made a promise. I made a promise that I'd do right by them. I'm not going to do right by them if I keep trying to take myself away from this before spirit is ready to take me. I don't want to insult anybody's memory, so I'm not going to do it. It's as simple as that. But I am worried, not about dying, but about making sure that everything I can solve as many of my problems as possible before my death happens. Because you already know how the perps and gang stalkers are. You know, they'll try to find some way to fuck up the paperwork or fuck something up. Like, even in your death, you're not allowed dignity. They still want to humiliate you as much as possible or defile you as much as possible upon your death. So this is why it is really important to make arrangements, even if you don't feel like you're going to pass on soon. You should make these arrangements as young as possible. I do not care. Like, your death is something that everybody should prepare for, you know, at some point in their lives. And I feel like that's where I was let down because there was so much emphasis on bullshit. The first thing that I should have been taught was how to prepare for my death. I wish I'd have been taught that. I wish I'd have been taught how to prepare for my death, how to live by myself, how to survive adverse situations, how to protect myself. I wasn't taught anything important. Like, these things are important. Now I'm fucking thinking, like, just to have a cremation, like, to get a decent one is like £4,000. And benefits for funeral arrangements, it only goes up to about, like, not even £2,000. And then on top of that, I got to think about where my ashes are going to be scattered, or if my ashes are going to be scattered, because like I said, when it comes to me, my family like to do their own fucking thing. They don't like to do anything that I advise them to do. So I have to think about that, and then who my next of kin is, if they can even get down here. Like, there's so much that I didn't think about. I didn't prepare for my death at all. I'm fucking sick. I didn't prepare at all. I'm pissed. But these things are important. I don't care if you're a TI or not. You could be an ordinary person. Your life could be great. But I feel like everybody should prepare for their demise at some point. Like, it's just a matter of common sense. And when it comes to me, it's especially a matter of common sense. I'm a TI. The only purpose for your life, as far as the gang stalking is concerned, the only purpose for your life is torture. So at every turn, even upon your death, that's what you have to be ready for. You have to be ready for the fact that they won't allow you to live with dignity, and they won't allow you to die with dignity. Everything is designed to break you down and humiliate you. And that's why it's important to make arrangements, even when you think like nothing is wrong. I'm looking online now, because these people are going to murder me. These people have already done it. There is no, I'm going to, I think I'm going to die. I'm going to fucking die. Even if The gang stalking had nothing to do with it. I'm going to fucking die at some point. And you got to be prepared. I just wish I could trust people. I can't trust anybody. Because if my the closest people in my life can betray me in my life, then they're gonna fucking betray me in my death. They're going to. When they think I'm not looking, or when they think I'm not there, they're going to. I don't want to die. I really don't. But I'm human. Immortality is not guaranteed. Nobody is immortal. Absolutely nobody. There's no way in hell. Like, and I think ironically, the reason why I used to keep attempting stuff when it came to my life, the reason I used to keep doing that was actually because I was afraid of death. It wasn't because I embraced it. And now I embrace it. I'm not trying to do anything extra. I just want to be prepared for when it happens. So I'm doing my daily readings at the moment. And yeah, doing the daily readings at the moment because it's late. I can't sleep, so fuck it. Might as well get it done before I attempt something called sleep. I don't know if I'm going to get any sleep tonight. But yeah. So after I've done these daily readings, I'm going to get to sleep. Maybe I'll think about all this funeral shit tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, you've got to think about these things. It's not pleasant, but it's got to be done. And it should be done as early as possible. Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. Damn. Get it out of the fucking way. Jesus Christ. But anyway, I love you guys. Peace and blessings. Take care. I know it's morbid, but what are you going to do? I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.